Hello everyone, I'm ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Trails Through Daybreak part 151. In the previous video we got somewhat close to actually progressing the main story. I mean, we kind of progressed the main story. We did Dingo's quest, which was part of the main story. It just kind of somewhat presented as a side quest. It was pretty fun, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Now it's connection time. We got 4.5 events. So who do we think we're not going to do regardless? Okay, I mean, since Yume, you're already maxed out, we'll have you be the one that we technically don't do. So we'll save and then we'll do yours first and then just reload and do the other 4 on the as the canon connection events. God damn it. Adios and Gehenna, motherfucker. Sounds pretty serious. Must be tough getting old. Yeah, if you don't throw out your back, Victor. Think about the piggyback ride she'll be depriving your granddaughter of. Not happening. Grandpa, are you okay? I'm dying, Yume. Think you'd better take the day off, ma'am. You nuts? Yeah, take time off for a few aches and pains. That's the American side of Calvert. Not only do I have our regulars and reservations to handle, but today and tomorrow are inventory stocking days. Those are crucial. I'll see you start making test batches for the Revolution Festival menu. Grandpa, you can rest. It's okay, Mommy and I can handle it. Oh, thank you. You may just hear in the God damn it, motherfucker. I think that settles it. You need help in the kitchen today. Period. Tell you what. I think I'm up to the task. I'll take over the kitchen for a while. I can't do it all day, but it's the least I can do. They've been cooking a lot for me throughout the years. Don't recall you owing me any of it for it, or owing me for any of it, you punk. Back pain so bad can't speak English anymore. Very well, I'm not gonna abandon the kitchen. I don't like it. You can help out during rush hour. Supervise your cooking, and don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're doing me a favor either, understand? Fair enough, your joint, your rules. Just tell me what to do, boss. Yes, chef. Thanks, Van. I'll help with the customers. With that, Van took his post in the Montmartre kitchen and got to cooking. Bam, we don't do that in this Let's Play. We don't cook. This is the no eating challenge. We're on hunger strike. We've been going for 7 months, buddy. You're cutting the cabbage wrong. Slice it more finely. Why don't you fucking do it, you little asshole? Like this? I mean, I feel like the whole point was for you to take the day off, not be supervising us and blowing a casket because we're doing it slightly wrong. No, even more. Like this? That's too fine. Fucking idiot. Don't stir so fast. Don't you said you didn't want it to burn? Which is it? Both. Keep stirring so it doesn't burn, but don't overdo it too fast. Idiot. Once that's ready, go grab a bag of flour and a can of milk from the pantry. Hang in there, Van. You can do it. It's clear as day whose dish looks more appetizing. I guess the one... Pretty sure the exact same, buddy. When did this become a competition, huh? You're the pro, of course yours is better. I think my stuff holds its own just fine. The presentation's not too shabby, at least. Bah! You think so, huh? Don't get cocky, punk. You still got a lot to learn. We'll see about that. Let's taste them and find out. Ah, good to see you're back. Hasn't put a damper on your spirit, Victor. I didn't know any better. I'd almost think you two were having some nice father and son bonding time. Ah! God damn it, don't say that to me. You're gonna send me up to Adios early. I have to take your word for it. Don't really know how that's supposed to look. Good thing he isn't my actual son. I would have just sold him after all the trouble he's caused around here. I'd have sent his ass off to the Central East to live with some Jaegers. The rush hour continued apace with Van and Victor yelling at one another in the kitchen, their hands full with customer orders. Hideous, your old man really likes cracking the whip. Arms are so sore, I ain't gonna be lifting anything heavier than my Zypher today. You'll survive, Van. You're too young to be that worn out. Still, thanks for helping my dad today. It means a lot. It's not much, but here's a little something on the house. Damn, you didn't have to, but thanks, Paulette. Dad's real fired up after all that. He put extra effort into it just for you. You didn't have to tell him that. Really now, I appreciate it. This will hit the spot after an afternoon of back-breaking work in that kitchen. Even I have to admit when a good-for-nothing son has earned his keep. Speak from experience when I say this. A family can take on many forms. Maybe only has one parent, or maybe no one in it that's even related by blood. Point is, there's no right way to be a family. You get to define what your family is and which bonds you cherish. Couldn't have said it better myself. Careful though. I don't think I'm the only potential son in the picture. Like hell, Gehenna will freeze over if I count that two-timing low-bit dirty-ass scumbag as one of my own. I never named any names. I can only imagine who you two might be talking about. Who, Aaron? Nah, shot. Paulette's got some standards. Very slight. They're on the ground, but they're there. Grandpa's right. You and me are family. I'll always be with you, Van. I promise. You sure can melt a grown-up's heart, but you should be real careful making promises like that at that age. Thank you, Eames. It means a lot. Don't care what you think. If you disappoint my sweet little innocent granddaughter, you're going to be in for a world of pain, you brat. What he really means to say is, take care of yourself, Van. He worries you might be overdoing it at your job sometimes. Paulette, could have kept that part to yourself. I hear you. I'll be more careful out there. That one was pretty good. That one felt more like almost like a Van connection event. Or really, it's with the dad, but...
Mommy, Grandpa, and me are always rooting for you.
Because like Yume was barely in that. I think Paulette had more dialogue than Yume. But that one was pretty good. Especially like the line about, you know, it's up to you to define what family is and what bonds are important. That's definitely true, man. Sometimes just because like you're related to someone doesn't mean you owe them shit. Like not even in the sense of like, oh, if they're like a bad person, like they can just be like a normal person. Doesn't mean you have to like, you know, care about them more than you would anybody else just because you're technically related by blood. Whatever that means. Jack and Hale went up the hill to get a pail of water. Van's group decided to take a short break. Everyone split up so they could spend their free time as they pleased. There he is. Looks like Jack's got business with you, my. Hey, this is what you promised, old man. Promise? Oh, I'm sorry, I ain't got the foggiest idea what you're talking about. Never promised you anything, you see. Got a problem? Hey, Van. Yes, you came, huh? Yep, was a little concerned about you, all. What happened? Asked this guy to reverse a certain 10 mirror coin for me on the off chance he came across it so I could buy it, or reserve a certain 10 mirror coin so I could buy it off of him. Instead, he went behind my back and pawned it off to somebody else. 10 mirror coin? What's got you worked up over it? Well, presumably it's special. It's what we in the business called an air coin. A misprint, if you will. Not only are the portrait and text flipped, but the copper's the wrong color too. It's got this slight silver hue to it. These little mistakes are 1 in 10,000, if not rare. 30,000 mirror per coin is quite common. But that's not all that can inflate the value of these, no sir. Owner history plays a part too, and a previous owner as infamous as this coins can bump the value up even higher. 50,000 by my estimate. Damn, 50,000 mirror for a little coin. Must have had one hell of a past life to command that kind of money. Presumably it's the... I would assume either the deposed Armada boss, or, I mean, it could be Dante's, but... My gut is that it's the dead guy. Well, I guess they're both dead now, but... Damn right it did. Take you know about my mentor, my greatest rival? Okay, never mind. I don't know who it is. Mentor and greatest rival. Oh, yeah, that would be Hale's dad, right? Was it King? Of course I do. The king himself, ain't it? Hale's old man. See, I read Gambling Jack. Right, you probably know he's not around anymore. I mean, I said he was a dead guy. What more do you want from me? I'm basically always right. There's a reason for that. I was a dumb little shit when I was younger. My cocky ass got him killed. Damn, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to dig up all that baggage. Well, now you know. Anyway, I'm sure you put two and two together. That coin we're arguing over used to belong to him. After he died, that coin disappeared. I had no idea where it went, at least until yours truly happened upon it. Jack offered 100,000 mirror for that little coin. At the time, I was more than happy to give it to him. Unfortunately, another customer beat him to the punch with 105,000 mirror. Poor Jack was just minutes too late. Really was nothing personal, just doing as a businessman does and taking the better offer. Yeah, but like, I feel like for 5,000 mirror, it would be worth having, you know, Jack in your corner. I mean, he's important enough. Who'd you sell it? At least don't tell me you sold it to like John Smith or someone. Like, at least tell me you sold it to somebody equally kind of useful. Oh, give me a break. If you just told me somebody put in a counter offer, I would have put up more money too. It's a little odd you didn't do that this time. I noticed how much you like to ring people for every mirror they're worth. Here's the money bags that ran off the coin. Well, if you want to know, I have to go straight to the source. As it so happens, the buyer left a note to pass on to Jack. It says quite plainly, if you'd like the coin back into Kayung? Great, you couldn't just sell a damn coin to him. No, you gotta help them antagonize me too. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the first thing that popped into my head is that Hale bought the coin. Every now and again, someone comes out of the woodwork trying to pick a fight with me. Who's got it out for me this time, though? I haven't a clue. I remember that pair of cheaters you had to deal with in Longport when we were in town. Man, that was a billion years ago. I forgot about that. Sure ain't easy being famous, huh? Heading over right now, then? Think I'll tag along and see how it goes down? Sure, go ahead. I don't mind the company. What are you doing here? By God, he's so good. Why do you think I'm here? It's because I'm the only one who bought the. I'm the one who bought the coin. What salary? What kind of tips you get, lady? I figured it was possible. I mean, I guess she gambles, but I figured it was possible I ran into you, and now here you are. I guess. Yep, here I am. Good to see you, Van. I was originally planning on having Mal officiate our little game. But if you're here, I'm more than happy to have you do it, if you don't mind. Sure, I can do that. Bit of a roundabout way to challenge someone to a game, though, don't you think? Yeah, but unless I go to that much trouble, Jack won't take it as seriously as he should. So just to reiterate, Jack, I want to play a game of poker with you. Winner keeps King's coin. Sound good to you? I'm game. You're on. You think you have any chance of winning against me? Do you really need to ask, Jack? You're right, my bad. That was dumb. Now with that said, I'll have you hold on to the coin, Van. Every round you'll flip that bad boy to determine who goes first. If it's heads, I go first. Tails, Jack goes first. What if it lands on its side? I feel like I'm being given a big responsibility running this match. I'll do my best to make you guys proud. I'm sure you'll do just fine, Van. We appreciate having you, well, may the best hand win. Let's get down to business. Jack and Hale's game got underway as Van watched the proceedings unfold. After the pair exchanged 100,000 mirror for 10 poker chips, they began to trade blows with each hand of cards. Once the match fully heated up, all the remaining chips are put in the line in a dramatic showdown. A dramatic showdown called the owner lady was like, "You fuckers better order some damn lunch or get the hell out of my restaurant." You're taking up a good seat. Granted, I guess it would actually maybe be a bit of a promotional. You feel like you'd have people like crowded around to watch this. You only stepped up your game, Hale. I'm impressed. Truth be told, I didn't expect you to even last this long. Save it for when you win, Jack. This game ain't over till it's over. You got that right. Jeez, you two are freaking nuts. Not too many in Zamira can read each other's hands and bluff the way you can. Looks like this next hand's gonna be our grand finale. Sure seems like keep up the good work, Van. Doesn't matter who goes first. Either way, your fate's already set. Here goes nothing. Moment of truth. Which hands did I catch the coin with? Always left. Tails, your move, Jack. Damn, I gotta go first, huh? That's the way it's gonna be. I'll exchange 2 cards. Oh, you think I'm trying that on me? Not that, ... unless it couldn't be he's going to use his special technique that he learned from them. No wonder you're disappointed. It's definitely better to go second in that case. Hale's got 4 kings. What you got, Jack? I get it now. You must have mastered King's technique to play like that. 4 of a kind for Jack. Wait. What's going on? Did Hale set this all up? Sure did. King's whole specialty back in the day was taking control of the cards, including his opponent's own hand. Guys, you just pick up the cards, man. Hey, you ain't gotta fucking use magic voodoo, you know? You ain't... Played well, Hale. Ain't nothing to it. Wait. He couldn't be. Not that card. That... No! There's still 1 card you haven't opened. What could you possibly still have left? The game should be over. Not if I've got a wild card in my hand. Jack, we don't play with those. Come on, this is a professional setting. And that's exactly what I have. A 5 of a kind with Jacks. Read 'em and weep. Sorry, Hale. I win. What the fucking... We don't play with jokers. Are you crazy? Not sure I follow you guys. Did you somehow use Hale's old move against her? More or less, yeah. No way. How is that possible? I can wonder all alike, but at the end of the day, they call you Victory Jack for a reason. Yeah, because he just cheats. I lost, and that's all there is to it. It's time for me to pay the piper, I suppose. Coin's all yours, Jack. I mean, yeah. Here you go, Jack. Good game. Thanks. That was a fun one, to say the least. One more thing we need to settle before we head on out. Hey, I'm giving you the coin. You're the one who should hold on to it. Jack, what are you doing? I just wanted to flex on you. I figure that whoever won gets to keep the coin. You earned it. You shouldn't give it back to me. In fact, I want you to have it. There's nobody else I'd rather see with it than you. Seriously, take it. It's okay. Oh, I get it now. The whole match is just a setup for her to give him the coin to all along, wasn't it? Sorry, Hale. I can't let you have your way on this one. If that coin is mine, then it'd be up to me to decide what to do with it. But if you're that determined to hoist the thing on me anyway, there's only one thing you can do. Play you again and win. That's right. That's how these things work in our world. Sorry, poker gives me sneezes. Fine, that's how you're gonna beat your own. I just want to see like a dramatic poker game in some piece of media where like the person wins with like 2 6s. They're like, ah shit. My hand, absolute garbage. The other person's hand, slightly better than absolute garbage. I keep improving my skills, and one of these days I'll beat you when you're playing your absolute hardest. Until then, you better not lose to anybody else but me. Your ass is grass deal. And not like a situation where like they bluff with 2 6s. Like, no, they they win because they both put their cards down, and one person's like, I got Jack and I got shit, and the other guy's like, well, I got Jack and Jack. Deal. Won't find another pair of gamblers like these anywhere else in Zemuria. Glad I got to see this little exchange today. That was neat. A promise made, Van proceeded to enjoy some yumcha. Afterwards, he reunited with the others and got back to work.
We should get some drinks and have another heated round of cards soon.
Maybe I'll crack open the good stuff for you when you do. Just try not to drink yourself stupid, Jack.
Yeah, Jack. Freaking idiot. Who up getting the victory dice equipped? Is that any good? It gives, I mean, presumably crit chance. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, we'll just give you the... It basically gives you 100% crit. And you have the crit thingy. You wanna wear some bunny ears? It's okay, Van. I'm not gonna... Nah, not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day you'll earn the ears. You just haven't done it yet, buddy. You're not Kurt status. Van's group decided to take a short break. Spriggan request addressed both towards you and I. Something stinks real bad about this one, but I don't think that's just a prank either. Thoughts? I can handle it myself if you'd like. That's fine, I'll lend you a hand. You've got quite a few shared acquaintances after all, it's worth looking into. So, what's the request about? A retrieval? Something's been smuggled into the city via the underground, we're supposed to go get it? We're out there is pretty convoluted. Looks like shit's been encrypted over and over a few times. I ain't gonna lie, this might be a little bit out of my depth. Lucky for you that I'm here. We're both perfectly suited for this matter, so let's cooperate and get to the bottom of this. After agreeing to work together, Van and Ren decoded the 4SPG. They continued gathering clues afterwards from the Orbital and the Underworld. Eventually, the trail, Through Daybreak, led them to an attaché case. This must be what we're looking for. That was some tricky shit to figure out, and definitely didn't cut us any slack. Also, we had to follow the thinnest threads we could find just to get here. The gang solves cool puzzles off screen. You wouldn't have heard of them. They live in Remiferia. Had we not teamed up, this whole search would have probably been dead in the water. I mean, alright gang. How hard could the puzzles have really been? Isn't Ren supposed to be a super genius? I mean, I'm just saying, maybe you're not as smart as you think you are, Ren. I mean, I'm just saying. They must have trusted us to find it in the end, though, if it was here after all. Let's crack it open and see what's inside. The man unlocked the attaché case and threw it open to reveal... What the? An empty briefcase. Writing utensils and painting supplies? How's this stuff for? Nothing weird about any of them, just normal ass pencils. I don't get it. Looks like we've also got letters here. They're addressed to the both of us. There's Cinder listed, but I can only think of one. Right. Oh, Grandpa Jorg, beyond a doubt. Oh yeah, I forgot that Van was associated with him. Dear Ren, realize I'm more than 6 months late. Before I say anything else, I want to congratulate you on your acceptance into Artemis. Time really does fly fast, doesn't it? Feels like it was only yesterday that you enrolled in Genis. Always had that impeccable talent and appetite for learning, from your studies to your papers and everywhere between. You may have felt at first there was no point returning to ordinary schooling, that it was a waste of time for a mind of your caliber. But there are some things you can only learn and experience in those common places. I suspect you've come to realize that yourself. Yeah, you end up freaking weird and socially malformed. Sometimes. I mean, not all homeschool kids are weird, but they have a preponderance towards weirdness. Now that you have a place in this world to call your own, it's good to spread your wings and spend time away from your friends and family. Now, also going to a private, prestigious university, probably, or, you know, school, it's technically not a university, but also probably leads to a preponderance of weirdness, but it's probably still better than nothing. Although I only looked after you for a short period, I pray you find happiness wherever your travels take you. Sincerely, Grandpa Jord. Yes. Thank you for taking care of those kids and tidying up the workshop during your visit a year and a half ago. I greatly appreciate it. Didn't know what to get you to celebrate your admission, so I simply picked up some safe bets for a student your age. If you have no use for them, feel free to throw them out. I'll hardly be hurt. Don't be like that, Grandpa. Could never throw these things away. He's still as he ever was, awkward and clumsy outside of his doll making, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Alright, let's see what he's got to say to me next. Mr. Van Arkride. Goes without saying that you and I have done much for each other over the years, and I won't dwell on that ancient history. But if I can offer one piece of advice to you, do not avert your eyes from the spirit you have within. Beyond that, please continue to guide and protect my granddaughter. I trust that you're looking out for her while she's in your periphery. Did you really have to write that last part? I'm used to seeing him be so protective. Hard to blame the guy. I ain't seen you in years. Cut him a little slack. At least it's not just you who's being nosy with anyway. What do you mean by your spirit within, though? That's an intriguing line. Don't... You know. You were there when he transformed. Beats me. No idea what he was talking about, but that's par for the course with him. Like, I'm thinking, yeah, you transformed to fight the robot at the end of Chapter 4. Ren, your ass wasn't that focused on the fight. I mean, at least, you know, you should have, even if that's not specifically what he's referring to, you feel like you should have some sort of, that's the connection you should make. I mean, you know how he is. God just sees everything differently. One hell of a grandpa you got there, you know that? People say his dolls are beyond lifelike. They even have their own hearts and souls. Maybe that power lets him take a look inside other people's hearts all the same. He could be onto something. I wouldn't hurt to keep what he wrote to you in mind, whatever it turns out to mean. Maybe. Yeah? Where's that old fart anyway? Any idea where he is or what he's up to these days? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. He may very well have slipped back into his workshop in Crossbell by now. Perhaps he's abandoned it and set up shop somewhere else entirely. It's hard to tell with him. Master was like that too. Maybe being all cryptic and shit just part of getting old. Maybe so. Happy to have heard from him at least. Thanks for bringing me along, Van. I'll have to return the favor one of these days. Hey, take it down a notch. You play with fire, you might get burned. You think I'm still just some little girl? You are a little girl. I'll be all grown up before you know it. In many ways, I already am. Nope, don't care. I ain't hearing it. At least enough for me to reach out and lend you a hand when you need it most. Sorry, Van knew you when you were 12, and he was an adult, basically. It's off limits. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you get. You know someone when they're 12 and you're an adult, they're off limits forever. Those are the rules. I made them up, and I'm applying them. Jeez, the old man's right. This girl's growing up fast. Too fast, if you ask me. I'll ring you up if I really need a hand. Van saw Rin back to her dormitory and left the attaché case in her care. With that, the two went their separate ways. Just like that, it was back to the usual business.
I'll invite you to a tea party sometime. I do so enjoy being a good hostess.
Nope. Nope. Van Arts plus 10. What the hell? What am I supposed to do with this shit? Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I want to do this one last. Okay, well. Van's group decided to take a short break. Yo, sorry for the wait. Don't worry about it, just got here myself. Thanks for coming. Think nothing of it. Seems this has to do with one of my part-timers, so I figured I might as well. You want me to help out with the memento of the flame eaters, right? Yep, want to fix up that custom rifle that I used to use. Seems like you've heard about it already. Sure have. We tried to get it repaired before, but they told us it wasn't really feasible. I assume the two of you found a way to fix it? Bingo. We learned what parts we need to repair it, so all that's left is to actually get them. It's been bothering me ever since I learned it was damaged, so I'm glad I can finally do something. Figured things will get real busy once the festival starts, so I want to get it taken care of before then. Harry's working on the stuff that can be gathered above ground. But you're going to be getting the underground stuff in the Blacklight District, in other words. You want me to show you around the place? Exactly. Heard that nose of yours is really impressive. So impressed that even Zen relies on it. How about it? You up for being my guide? Sure, why not? Couldn't hurt putting you in my debt more. I have one of my part-timers move on too. Sounds like a win-win to me. Well, let's get moving then. Van and Fee make it haste to the Blacklight District. Upon arrival, they scouted the area in search of replacement parts for Ida's rifle. We're gonna fix up a custom rifle, eh? Not to discourage you fine folks, but that sounds like quite a pain in the behind. We know I'm prepared to deal with it. As you can probably guess, we need some specialized parts to get it back in working condition. Mind showing us the rifle suppressors and foregrips you got in stock at the moment? Not at all. Right this way, young lady. Hopefully I've got what you're looking for. He's definitely got a wide selection, but none of it looks quite right. What about this part over here? Looks pretty unwieldy, but nothing any decent Jaeger couldn't handle. Some of you fuckers got chainsaws on your weapons. Yeah, maybe. Might actually be the same model Ida used, or the same make at least. Might work in a pinch. May as well give it a shot. Working on Flame Eater's rifle, huh? I've heard stories about that bad boy. You're in luck. I know for a fact that the rifle I used back when I was on active duty is the same generation as her gun. You can go ahead and take it if you want. Should have a part or two you can use. Damn, that's real generous of you. For real, are you sure? I mean, that has to mean a lot to you. I'm no Jaeger anymore, so I don't mind parting with it. Helping the Colonel's daughter sounds better to me anyway. In return, just promise you'll come back and tell me how the Purple Lightning's doing. Been rooting for her ever since she hung it up to walk her own path. Let me know if she's holding up, yeah? Deal. Can't say I know everything, but I'll be happy to share what I can. Eventually, Fee and Van managed to scrape together the needed parts to repair the gun, albeit from a less than desirable mix of sources. With Fairy having acquired her allotted parts, the group reconvened at the arms dealer inside the department store. Sylvie, who had previously consulted about the rival's damages, agreed to assist with its repairs. Van watched over the whole process and helped with basic tasks like polishing as needed. Eventually, ... by God, that's the dang shoot 'em up rifle if I've ever seen one. Got like real, I don't know, like Fallout vibes. Would you look at that? It's right back to the way it was, ain't that something? It was the same custom rifle muzzle she used back in her Zephyr days. Maximized its firepower and improved its accuracy. I really like talking about that thing. I can see why. And customized in other ways too. The weight distribution probably makes it unwieldy to anyone who isn't a rifle pro. Ida had no problem handling it. She and this rifle were a match made in heaven. No doubt about that. I'm glad we were able to get it fixed up for her. Flame Eater couldn't have asked for a better pair of sisters. So, what you planning to do with it now? Pawn it off. It's what she would have wanted. She would have wanted us to have money. That's a good question. How would you feel about using it, Fairy? Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems kind of big for her, and she just said it would be unwieldy, and, well, she's already got a model for her that they use. You wouldn't want to replace her weapon, man. Ida once told me to remain true to my own style. I don't think I'd be honoring her if I changed mine to adapt to her weapon. Figured you say something like that. Doesn't fit mine either. I have a better idea. How about we deliver it to the current members of Zephyr? Oh yeah, I heard they were formed after the war. Yeah, it's changed hands since then. Now it's being led by two former regimental commanders, Zeno and Leo. I'm fine with giving it over to them, but are you sure that's what you want? I've thought long and hard about it. In her final moments, Ida said the names of her Zephyr comrades, including you. I can tell she treasured her family there. That's why I want to return it to them. Okay, works for me. I'll go ahead and arrange for it to be delivered then. How are you gonna do that? They got phones, Van. You do realize a civilian courier can't just waltz into Zephyr Turf with a rifle in hand, right? Well aware. That's not what I had in mind. I know someone named Josette who owns a delivery company. Her people should be able to get it over to him without much trouble. Oh yeah, I've heard of them. They're based in Libreville, yeah? Josette, the weakest character in the entire canon. No offense. You sure know a lot of people, don't you? I can say the same about you. We got in contact with a courier who happily accepted the task and got straight to work. Afterwards, she reached out to Zephyr, who were in a remote region of the continent, to give them a heads up. Won't be too long before it's delivered, so can you stick around your base camp for a while longer? Sure thing, we had to kill some time for our next job anyway. A Jaeger's weapon is their very soul, and we'll take good care of it. 3 of us fought side by side many times as regimental commanders. She is dearly missed. Eisenschall told us what happened to her. Strange to think a part of her will be coming back to us. I'd like to think she's sharing a laugh and a drink with the boss on the other side right about now. I'll be stressing all about her little sisters too. Worry wart. Wouldn't shock me. Good talking to you both again. See you around. Likewise. Give our regards to Ida's other little sister. Sounds like she's got herself caught up in something fishy. Tell her to take care of herself. That settles it. You must be one of the only bracers in the guild that keeps in touch with Jaegers. That, no shot, she's the only bracer. Or one of... Like, I don't know. At least half of the bracers are former Jaegers. We don't talk that often, but they reach out to me every now and then. Now we got that squared away, I think we're going to drop by a cafe. Want to come with? I can share some stories about Ida and Zephyr if you're interested. Really? Oh, I love that. I can tell you some about my people in our village. Yeah, I don't care. Zephyr's cooler. I'd like to hear all about them. He and Fairy went off to enjoy some tea and conversation. Once Fairy returned, the group got back to work.
It'd be nice to introduce you to some friends of mine if the chance ever comes up.
+3 agility, holy hell. They really did kill it with the bond events, man. That's like definitely the single thing that I think has been improved the most. Like every bond event is, well, not every bond event, but like 90% of the bond events have been killer. Van's group decided to take a short break. Everyone split up so they could spend their free time as they pleased. Brother. Man's like, I'm on a 15-minute break. Drives 30 minutes out into the national park and then walks another fucking 2 miles to get into the center of it. This is the real me. The one you don't know. The one I don't want you to know. But I told you, this lady's sus. I mean, it's not like they really hide it. I mean, it was basically, as soon as she shows up, there was like a red flashing alarm that's like, hey, this lady's suspicious. This isn't right. I'm missing something. Well, granted, she may actually just be acting here, but I still think she's sus. Hey there, thought about taking a break? Mr. Arkrod, what are you doing here? Director sent me. There's an actress I've been working with whose work I'd like your opinion on, if that's okay. Ever since I offered her the part, she's been immersed in the role, almost to a scary degree. I was originally going to ask Judah for help here. Might be a bad idea if I did it, since I'm not involved with the film's production at all. But we're not either. I know you're pretty tight-lipped, so I said, why not? You gonna help? What? I guess they were both really worried about me. Did she say, she said I'm not, right? I'm not involved with the film's production at all. But we're not involved either. We recently filmed one of the most important scenes of my next film, you see. The director said my final cut was fine, so we're ready to move on. But I'm still not happy with it. I still feel like I can do better, and I asked him to let me shoot again after I rehearsed it some more. And then he Clint Eastwood that shit and said, why, so you can waste everyone's fucking time? And that's why you're here, all alone? It sounded like a long monologue. Surprised it's giving you so much trouble. I think it's because I've been rehearsing it alone. I meant to look at someone during the actual scene, and it's hard when I don't have anyone. I don't know, would you be willing to act as my partner while I practice? Me? Didn't see that one coming. I know that even if I said no, you ain't leaving until it's perfect. You sure you want to ask me? I ain't exactly an experienced actor. That's alright. Just you being here will make a world of difference. Alright, I got the time to spare. Give it your best shot. Bro really takes the breaks to their, like, unbelievable logical conclusion. Just don't go expecting nothing a sack of flour couldn't do better. Thank you. Ban, you saying my voice acting's like a sack of flour? How dare you? How dare you? Or at least like a sack of something slightly more expensive. With Van as her partner, Nina continued practicing the problematic scene over and over. But in the end, she still wasn't able to come up with a take she was happy with. How about that break? This is your job and all, but you're gonna burn yourself out if you keep up at it non-stop. Sorry, it feels like I've just been wasting your time here. Should have known I couldn't handle this like Judith does. What's she got to do with this? You guys are very different kind of actresses, yeah? You always talk about how I embody the characters act so naturally, it's like I'm possessed by them. I might be able to put a positive spin on it, but what those words mean at the end of the day is my acting has no real soul of its own. What? No, that's not what that means in the slightest? That's a bit harsh. It's the truth. Judith's acting is so full of heart and soul. Every one of her roles has an identity that's uniquely hers. Not to say she's not doing a good job portraying the role, of course. I don't mean that. She maintains the role's integrity, but she always puts part of her into it. She takes to every role in a way that's uniquely hers. I mean, that's true. That is a... Or like, that can be a great virtue. I mean, they're both virtues, right? Being able to be a blank slate that can completely embody the character and role for that specific, you know, piece of media is really valuable. But also at the same time, there are some, you know, people who, no matter what character they're playing, there is a bit of them in it. Which, granted, that at the same time has the drawbacks of like, well, you know, they always play the same character, or to some degree, the same character. That's her greatest appeal as an actress, if you ask me. I see it, yeah. But I just can't do that. I don't have her strength of spirit, and I never will, because I'm empty. All I can do is act the role I'm given. That's all I can ever do. She's extremely transparent while acting, so much so you might see right through her and her hollow acting. I remember reading that on a magazine after your debut film aired. You have a good memory. You know that just because someone said that doesn't mean it's true, right? That's how people see you. That's a talent you should take in stride. But you can call my acting skills whatever you want, but the truth is I'll never measure up to Judith. But you already beat her. And that might be your problem right there. If you really think there's nothing in there, then that's all the more space to start filling it in. There's still plenty of time for you to create the identity you think you're lacking. You got a lot of material to take inspiration from. What do you mean? I'm well known for not just taking a script and listening to it to a T. You always take it a step further. You wrap yourself in the role and let it become who you are. You think and act like the characters would. That's not something you just up and forget. Or do their lives and experiences just vanish from your head once you stop playing the role? They don't. I remember everything. I remember the warmth of being in Ron's arms as Michelle in Wolf's Requiem. I still remember how reassuring it was to have my friends and companions at my side in Gloria as Sheena Dirk. Thought so. Remembered all of that so clearly. And that's not something just everyone can do. Not even Judith. Those voices, those feelings are just as much a part of you. And empty. But don't let them overwhelm you either. You gotta listen to what you want too. And I might get shit for saying this, but to hell with the script. I think this should be more important to you. Because it's something that only you can do. I had never even considered disregarding my lines. Well, I mean, to some degree, that can be good. There are examples of great, memorable lines being mostly ad-libbed by their actors. But at the same time, not all actors are writers. But sometimes scripts are shit, so maybe you should do it. I don't know. You know, you gotta play it by ear. That might actually be a good idea. You mind if I try the scene one more time? I might finally have something. And let's start from the very beginning this time. Yeah, sure. Wait, already? And so they resumed their acting. Nina performed the scene over and over, Van still acting as her partner. Every attempt refined the scene further, and Nina could feel the pleasant and satisfying exhaustion wash over her. Eventually...
This is the real me. The one you don't know. The one I don't want you to know. But I can't run anymore. Not if I'm going to stay true to myself.
Cut! Yep, we snuck up on you. We got you. You caught on candid camera, baby. How long y'all been there? Wait, were you filming this? Ah, don't worry, we only filming Nina. We don't give a shit about you, partner. You're not getting paid, alright? I'm not giving you even the industry extra late of 50 mira. That was spectacular, Nina. I know I proved our previous take, but this was significantly better. Went off script a little. Doesn't matter. I could feel you and your character's soul so perfectly in your delivery. Thank you, director. Alright, everybody. Let's keep this momentum and get back to shooting. Of course. That's taken care of. Damn, it's a relief. I feel like I finally saw a side of myself I never faced before. Thank you so much for your help. They parted ways, Van leaving Nina and her crew to their filming.
That was invigorating. You should keep an eye out for my next performance.
Nope. Glass fountain pen. Glass fountain pen has a 100% chance to burst when you get hit and get ink all over your nice clothes. It's okay. It's not really... I mean, 1,000 HP is nice, but, you know, nothing in this game does damage. I mean, the only person who would really use it is Catcher, because his HP is kind of shitty. I don't really think it's worth the opportunity cost there. Alright, so we're at 50 minutes. Here's the question. Do we try and read the newspaper, or do we save it for the next video? You know what? Feeling kind of frosty, kind of frisky frosty. Let's go for it. As soon as I remember, I'm gonna remember how to read my damn book, and then you'll all be sorry. That's it. That's the button, partner. All right, we will need to take a sip of the sauce first, though. Alright, sauce has been sipped. Really, it was more like a guzzling of the sauce, but nevertheless, it has been consumed. It's been assimilated into my being. Now we're going to turn that sauce into the fuel for reading the 8th issue of the Tyrell Times. Organization behind Cray Village incident crushed. Government officials held a press conference today in which they stated the anti-government organization Almada had been fully exposed and its leading members were taken into custody, effectively destroying the organization. It was also revealed that Almada was behind the devastating terrorist attack on Cray Village, bringing an end to the investigation of the incident as well as the national state of emergency. Also, what do you mean, leading members taken into custody? I mean, I guess, how does that work if you kill everyone? You know? Because in theory, the only person who could be alive is Melchior, who is not taken into custody. The Almada organization is a mafia based in Messeldam that has shown rapid expansion in recent years. Investigators have stated the organization has been amassing large amounts of mira after a change in leadership led to the mafia shamelessly indulging in illegal activities such as drugs and human trafficking, which it had avoided under its previous leaders. This, coupled with additional funding from several unknown sources, allowed the organization to obtain a state-of-the-art weapon such as the one that destroyed Cray. However, many mysteries about the organization remain unsolved, such as why a group getting rich off criminal activities would suddenly attack a rural village. Almada was also involved in the bombing of the Vashtar Palace ruins in Arasion on November 22nd, with several members being arrested on the outskirts of town. Almada's leader, Gerard Drantes, is believed to have been caught in the collapse of the ruins, though at the time of writing, the debris is still being excavated. If he is found alive, then he'll be arrested again on charge of drug and human trafficking, as well as general and specific cases of destruction of property. Also, the murder? He will also be questioned once more regarding his activities during the terrorist attack on Cray. I mean, yeah, I guess in theory you don't specifically know that he detonated that shit. I mean, she does, but the general public doesn't, I guess. As this case comes to a close, we ask our readers to keep in mind the heroic efforts and brave contributions from the police force, bracers, and CID. Didn't do shit, didn't do shit, didn't do shit. As well as certain civilians who wish to remain anonymous at this time, all of whom work together towards this resolution. I'm going to be honest, I was not asked. I do not wish to remain anonymous. I want this shit to be called Van Arkrod Saves World. Needs to be given all your money. Revolution Festival will be held on schedule. With the terrorist attack on Cray Village and the subsequent national state of emergency, many were concerned the festival would be postponed. However, thanks to the early resolution of the incident, the festival is set to open on December 3rd as planned. Aside from the addition of a special memorial ceremony for those lost in Cray, the event will follow the originally proposed schedule. The celebrations at this year's Revolution Festival are set to be the greatest the country has ever seen, with spending on the event already at 1.3 times more than last year. The Office of the President has been directly involved in directing the presentations and performances, and word has it the Republican Army will be exhibiting some of its next-generation weaponry. Stock prices have skyrocketed ahead of the festival, with many foreign investors riding their hopes on it as well. Experts who have run sample calculations indicate that the total profits from the event, including secondary effects of the festival, could reach upwards of 80 billion mira, more than making up for the economic losses the country incurred last month. The announcement of the festival's opening seems to have lifted the gloomy atmosphere that has clouded our great republic since the recent tragedy. We pray this festival will ring in a new year of hope for the country. Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen. 100%. You're right. Heads of major Arasion corporations taken in sting of arrests. There's not a citizen in Calvert who doesn't recognize the name Etois and Quincy. Quincy! Even when... I don't know. I don't got a joke there. The former is a prestigious brand has a... Former is a prestigious brand has established itself in the world of orbital automobile. I was like, is my brain broken or is the sentence broken? Well, the latter is a major confectionery brand. Both have their headquarters in the ancient city of Erasion. Both are also headed by descendants of the elite aristocracy from the old Calvard Kingdom. Yet on November 22nd of this year, authorities took the heads of both of the prestigious companies into custody. According to sources within the Erasion police, both Edmond Auclair, CEO of the Quincy Company, and Benoit Dalty, president of Etois, have been illegally funneling funds to an anti-immigration groups for over a decade. The police also discovered the companies have been providing funds to anti-government organization Almada for several years. After the initial arrest of Auclair and Dalty, monetary connections between anti-immigration as well as anti-government groups by many prominent business owners and investors were discovered, leading to a string of arrests that sent shockwaves through the various sectors. The fact that two of the greatest companies in Erasion would indirectly support isolationist sentiment and terrorist acts by backing anti-immigration and anti-government organizations is already unthinkable. But it would be even more appalling their funding has flowed into the pockets of the Almada, the same group that committed one of the most horrifying attacks in our history. That's another thing. I don't know. I mean, it is just two companies at the end of the day, but I feel like that would have like a pretty bad effect on the economy, man. Well, I don't know. I guess there's two ways to look at it. It's a huge scandal, which generally scandals are bad for the stock price. But I guess you could say maybe it's a good if they're not using if they were using company funds. You're like, hey, that's more money freed up for making shitty chocolate. I mean, Quincy brand delicious chocolate. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would have a deleterious effect on the economy. If it was like, yeah, these guys have been funding the terrorist organization that blew up one of our cities. Especially since it's not just those two, it's also several other business people. Like, it's just chaos, right? Like, that in and of itself, like, even if, you know, Auclair is not a great CEO, just having him replaced suddenly is going to spook the market. Following these revelations, stock prices on all Erasion-affiliated companies plummeted, even for okay, so they actually... You're right. Even for companies that were not directly involved in the scandal, leaving the Erasion Trust Bank scrambling to respond. Authorities are currently investigating how money began flowing from these companies to anti-immigration groups as well as Almada. It seems that all we can do is wait for the honor of Erasion to be restored through the full disclosure of these details. The fact that Edmond Auclair, CEO of the Quincy Company, is the father of Calvard A-rank bracer Elaine Auclair has become a recent topic of conversation. According to sources, Miss Auclair attempted to resign her position as a bracer as a way of taking responsibility for the crimes of her family. However, considering it was Miss Auclair herself who arrested her father and taking into account her many heroic deeds, the guild refused her resignation, allowing her to retain her position. Mr. Hazel, a representative of Edith's Bracer Guild, revealed to our reporters, "Getting loads of letters every day expressing support for Elaine and the way she's facing up to the crimes her father committed. As expected, the people are still looking forward to Miss Auclair's future exploits." Spotlight on Edith's 3rd District. There's one place in the capital that's shown more excitement for the festival than any other over the last few years. As many readers have already guessed, it's the 3rd District where the gorgeous Treon Tower stands. You may be aware of the numerous special events held in the 3rd District in recent years, such as the Edith Girls Collection, along with the blooming Treon Mall, its massive commercial center. But do you know how the 3rd District gets started on this economic boom it now enjoys? The 3rd District was reconstructed over 40 years ago in preparation for the construction of Treon Tower. The tower was designed by the one and only Dr. Epstein and functions as both a meteorological observation tower as well as one of the few orbital transmission towers on the continent, supporting the infrastructure of global orbital communications in Calvert. Since then, the district has been the center of attention of various shows and lectures being held at the theater constructed at the base of the tower, which is not going to blow up. Around a decade ago, the theater was renovated into Treon Hall, where an even greater variety of shows such as the music performances and the EGC are now held, drawing even more fame to the district. 3 years ago, we saw the opening of the Treon Mall, also located at the foot of the tower. Thanks to a unique approach to gathering merchants, this mall is now constantly full of happy shoppers. This year, visitors to the Treon Hall can look forward to the annual EGC event, held on the evening of the Revolution Festival, as well as a New Year's Eve musical festival, held every year on December 31st. With the Revolution Festival on its way, it seems the 3rd District will be shining even brighter than usual. I don't know, I feel like they're about to blow that shit up. They're like, hey, we've never really talked about the 3rd District before. We're talking about it now. That shit getting blown up. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it'll finally be we get to go there. I don't know. It could also just be that. But I feel like if you've held out this long on it, you're like, you're gonna save that for like the next game maybe. For us to really get to go there and explore, but who knows. I'm gonna call it here. So I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.